Hello, my name is Alexis King, and welcome to Akron in Action, a City of Akron series where we take you behind the scenes of your local city government. Today, I have with me Akron Fire Chief Leon Henderson and Captain Dan Garrett. Do you both want to take a moment to introduce yourselves?
Yes, I would love to, Alexis. Thank you for having us on this platform, first of all. For as far as me, I've been on the job for 35 years. I am Leon Henderson. I am your Akron Fire Chief. And I was 4 years prior military as well. So I've been uniformed for 39 years of my 60 years.
Wow.
I have a wonderful, you said, wow, don't make me sound old. So
Wow, I'm impressed. 39 years of service.
Yes,
That's
yes.
incredible.
And with that being said, I have a wonderful wife, Sarah, and I have an amazing 4-year-old son, Abraham. And we love going on long drives and just hanging out in the city of Akron. I am a lifelong resident of Akron. I still live in Akron, so I love this city. And fun fact about me, I love traveling the world. I love snowboarding, and that's what I enjoy doing on my off days.
Awesome. Thanks, Chief. All right, Captain Garrett.
Yeah, thank you for having us here today. Any chance that we get to talk about the great things in Akron Fire, we just kind of jump at that opportunity. Dan Garrett, Akron Fire, 10 years prior military before joining Akron Fire. Been on Akron Fire for 20 years, so 30 years of service. I'm not going to say my age. Right? I spend a lot of time chasing my family around. We're really involved in sports and doing stuff outdoors. It takes up a lot of my time. When we're not doing that, I just like to hang out in my backyard, mess around in my greenhouse and my plants. So pretty laid back.
Yeah, absolutely. So to kick us off, we like to do a little bit of a fun question here. So I'm sure we could do an entire podcast episode about this question, but I would love to hear from you guys. Where is your favorite place in Akron to grab a bite to eat?
So for me, my favorite place to grab a bite to eat is on a fish fry. I love fish. So my family, all we eat is fish and chicken. So Recessi's on North Hill on Fridays is our favorite place to go to have a nice bite.
Awesome. Thanks, Chief.
Yeah, I'm not a foodie. I like all food, but honestly, it's who I'm eating with. I love spending time with my daughter. She's at the University of Akron. So whenever I get a chance to eat with her, hey, where we meeting? That's my favorite place. So whenever I can take time out of her day and my day to have lunch, that's my favorite place.
That's awesome. That's so sweet. We're big fans of Good Company, which is right across from Station 2.
Yeah.
So I'm sure the Station 2 folks, if I was them, I'd be at Good Company literally every day if I could.
Hey, wait a minute. You haven't tasted any of our firefighters cooking.
That's also true.
Yeah, man.
So maybe Station 2 or Station 4. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Cook-off would actually be really fun.
Yeah.
All right. We'll put a pin in that. Save that for later.
Okay.
So some parts of the Akron Fire Department's job is pretty obvious, right? It's in the name. You guys fight fires. So tell me a little bit more about what else does the Akron Fire Department do?
So what else we do? We do an array of things. We have our Special Operations Bureau. Then we have a drone team. We have a TIMS team. When it comes to our EMS, we have our array of different avenues and modules that Captain Garrett will discuss. We have our operations, which is our day-to-day shifts, and those are 24 hours on, 48 hours off. So, and sometimes we have people that work overtime. They work 48-hour shifts. We also have within our bureaus, we have our Fire Prevention Bureau. And fire prevention, charge into fire safety. So we'll talk about that later within this podcast. And all of us at one time or another were paramedics. That was state certified paramedics. And everyone on the job is EMTs. So regardless of whatever resource that shows up, we are there to help.
Yeah. Wow. That's a lot.
Yes.
And I feel like I see Akron Fire out in the community, like literally all the time. Like I'm at Porch Rocker, I see Akron Fire. I'm at the marathon, I see Akron Fire, right? Which, that had that awesome save at the marathon this past September. So what are some of the other typical community engagement efforts that Akron Fire does?
Well, that is a great question. When we're not doing training, because keeping up with our certifications, Firefighter 1, Firefighter 2, and our paramedic and our EMT certifications, and all our special op training, we also have a dive team where we do dive training with the county. Whenever we're not doing that, we're out in the community doing community engagement. We have an array of open houses that we've sponsored throughout the years. We have ice cream socials for people to come in and take a look at what their tax dollars are paying for. We also, when it comes to that holistic, like that wraparound care, we go to schools and basically teach them fire safety. teach them how to basically be safe when we do our fireworks shoots. We do an array of things. We have our Stop the Bleed. We teach people CPR. We teach people how to use a fire extinguisher. When it comes to anything public safety that police doesn't handle, we actually do that training and we handle with the city.
Cool. So if someone, listening to this podcast wanted to have Akron Fire come out to do a CPR training or to do a fire extinguisher training, how would they get in contact with the
Thank you very
department?
much. That is an awesome question. If they want to do the CPR EMS component, that they will call 330-375-2481. That's 330-375-2481.
Awesome. And we can put that in the episode description as well. But cool. Yeah, that is such an awesome resource, right? Just to know how to do CPR, to even just know how to use your fire extinguisher. Like, I have a fire extinguisher in my kitchen. Could I tell you how to use it more than what I've seen in movies? Probably not. So I'm going to keep that in mind.
Please do. And also keep in mind that we are pro-business here in the city of Akron. And with that being the case, we come out and do safety inspections, life safety
Wow,
inspections.
that's really cool.
When it comes to businesses, they're opening up, storefront properties. We come and do a site inspection to make sure that's the right fit for what their purpose is. We do an occupancy load. We do hazardous material checks. We do an array of things as far as the public. And when it comes to safety of everybody, as far as elder care, when you have young kids in the house, we do the install of CO detectors and smoke detectors. So you want to contact us at our email address, fireprevention@akronohio.gov, or you can call 330-375-2211.
Everyone's going to have this phone number memorized by the end of this podcast. I love that. Awesome. Thank you so much, Chief. So, Captain Garrett, you do a lot of work with our community paramedic program. So I'd love to hear a little bit more about what falls under that umbrella.
Yeah, community paramedicine, right? The wave of the future of EMS. So our community paramedic program is called REACH, Resources, Education, and Advocacy for Community Health, right? It's this big umbrella of trying to connect people with resources that they didn't know was available to them, right? It could be somebody discharged from the hospital that doesn't know how to really understand the discharge notes, or prescription navigation because they have a new prescription, or a family member that has an elderly person in the city, and you know what? I'm fearful that they might fall. We can come do home inspections. So really what it is, it's connecting people to the resources that are available to them, because healthcare navigation can be challenging, even if you're in the industry, right? It's this big scary monster for a lot of people. So that's what we provide with our REACH program, is that connection of resources.
Yeah, that's really cool. I know when my experience with the REACH program, I always thought it was just for folks who are elderly, so they could stay in their homes longer, and the grab bar prevention. I had no idea that it also included this, like, we'll help you with your discharge paperwork, we'll help you navigate, if you're on a new medication, like, and that's open to anybody in the city of Akron. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's a great program.
Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit about, I know one of the initiatives that folks might already be aware of is the Scout program. Could you talk a little bit about what that program entails?
Absolutely. So this is a collaboration with some of our stakeholders here in the city: Akron Police, Akron Fire, ADM, Portage Path. It is to focus on a mental health crisis within the city. So what we learned over time is that the EDs, or the hospital systems, might not be the best approach for finding that definitive care for somebody that might be going through mental crisis. So we deploy counselors on a team of Akron Police, Akron Fire, and a counselor to go out into the community and try and connect those people to the resources that suit them best.
Gotcha. And so I know in a similar vein, we have the quick response team. So could you talk a little bit about that team too?
Yes, absolutely. So, years ago, we had the opioid epidemic in the United States, horrible thing. And from that, we realized that, there's people that need assistance with that. So just like our Scout team, we'll deploy a team out into the community and try and connect those people with resources to help them fight that addiction. So we'll help them find treatment, we'll help them get counseling, we'll connect them to those resources.
Yeah, that's so interesting to me, because it seems like these programs were really born out of a sense of like intentionality and compassion. It's rather than, showing up on what could be the worst day that someone is having, right? You've got someone who is trained in that mental health component, in that addiction component, to be able to provide more resources than, well, let's just take you to the emergency room and good luck, Godspeed.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a slower approach to this whole community health care, right? So let's slow it down. Let's really have a conversation with you. What are your needs? Where are the gaps in this healthcare system? And let's try and connect you with those resources. So it's a slower approach than the emergency response system that we have 911 lights and sirens.
Yeah. So, again, excellent segue into kind of this concept of lights and sirens. So, we also have this alternate response vehicle, or AV1. Could you talk a little bit about that vehicle and what that team does?
Yeah, AV1 is our alternate response vehicle, like you said. So we deal with so many calls every single day, right? Chief can attest to this. We're 120, 150-ish every single day. And a vast majority of those may not be life-threatening emergencies, but somebody still needs help. Somebody still needs assistance. Somebody still needs care, but they don't need lights and sirens to the emergency department. So we have our alternate response vehicle, and they will be dispatched out to that resident, to that community member. And, maybe it's somebody that isn't able to get up off the floor after they slipped off the couch, right? They still need help, right? If they're on the floor and nobody helps them, it could turn into a true emergency, but they need help. So our alternate response vehicle can be dispatched out, and they're a team of 2 paramedics, just like our ALS med units. They'll go, they'll do an assessment, they'll help them get back into that couch or whatever, but then they'll also have that conversation. Do you need help in the home? Is there somebody around to help you? Hey, let's connect you with our community paramedic program. So our alternate response vehicle diverts those calls so that they can have a little bit more time with that community member and really connect them with those resources.
Yeah, and a lot of the resource connection too is going to prevent future EMS calls.
Correct.
As well. So it's the same way. It's like I've never thought of EMS services in the same way of like you go to the doctor for preventative care. Like this is preventative EMS. This is providing resources and stability so folks then don't get to the point where they have to call 911 for an emergency. If someone falls off the couch and they can't call you guys, that could then turn into a life-threatening emergency situation. So that's
EMS
awesome.
prevention, you said it earlier.
Yeah.
Right?
So if somebody wants to get involved in the REACH program, if they need that kind of assistance, or whatever, how can they get in contact with Akron Fire?
So we have an email address. It's reach@akronohio.gov, and we have a phone number, 330-812-7590.
Awesome. And we'll also put that in the episode description too, so folks are able to contact you guys. So I'd really love to hear from the both of you. What are some challenges that these programs are facing today?
Alexis, that is a great question. So if you listen to all of the services that we have, that holistic approach to overall care, when it comes to EMS prevention, when it comes to the fire prevention, all the services that we deliver, all those are free to the public. They're getting the gold standard throughout the whole country. Akron is getting that gold standard. And just to know that we have some challenges when it comes to financial headwinds that may be coming down the pike, keeping our staffing levels where they need to be so we can actually continue these services, that is key for our community to strive and basically be at that top tier. When you look at Mayor Malik's, when you look at his overall approach to public safety, his number one priority is public safety. That includes the fire department, police department, and our dispatch center. With that being the case, we are always thinking about our customers, which is our citizens, is making sure that they're safe in the environment and within this city. And when you look at some of the challenges that we're facing, some of the challenges we face is the education component when it comes to letting people know what services that are available to them, when it comes to technology and ever evolving of innovation. So the theme for the Fire Prevention Week is Charging Fire Safety. And what that means is the fact that some of your home devices that you use every day, like your electric toothbrush, like your shaver, like your cell phone, if you put it on a table that's a base of a wooden base or you have combustibles around, that could ignite and catch fire. Some of the toys that are out there right now are different mobility equipment, like the mobile wheelchair that some people may have. They plug it into their home. They may catch fire if it's in a heated source. When you're looking at some of the scooters, when you're looking at the e-bikes, they're becoming very popular right now. The public needs to understand that if it's not in a safe environment and plugged in correctly and UL certified, that could be a problem. So that's what one of the biggest problems that we're facing is teaching the public, keeping up with technology, and staying abreast of what's happening out there in the public in the stratosphere.
Gotcha. Thanks, Chief. All right, Captain Garrett.
Yeah, I mean, like Chief said, education, right? And it's not only educating the public about all the resources that are available to them or that they can call us and connect to those resources, but also our stakeholders, right? Letting our stakeholders know that, hey, we're here to assist you. You know, we're pro-business here in Akron. So how can we assist you in your business and connecting maybe your employees or your customers or, you know, something like that? And staffing, like the chief said, our primary mission is providing that essential service to the citizens of Akron. Sometimes we get really busy. And when we get really busy, sometimes we have to pull from those administrative roles to fill the seats for those emergency response vehicles. So I wish we say that we were a staff of 500, but we're not, right? So staffing challenges sometimes are something that we have to juggle. But yeah, we try to do the best we can, like Chief said, and provide that essential service to the citizens. And I think we do a pretty good job.
And let me chime in. One of the other things that is challenging throughout the country is just not Akron, some of these challenges that we're talking about here. When it comes to the recruitment in public safety, as far as firefighting, you asked the question, what do we do when we're not actually firefighting or going on EMS calls? We're actually actively recruiting. Right now, we have a fire department of 402 as far as fully staffed. Every last one of us are out actively recruiting the next generation firefighters. So out there in the stratosphere, if you're the age of 17 years of age or 37, up to 37, please come join our team, the A team,
Yeah.
fire department.
Yeah, shameless plug. We love it.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys seem pretty fun to work with, and every time I get to hang out with Akron Fire, it's always a good time. So
Yes. Thank you very much for that.
thank you both so much for being here. This was such a fun conversation. I learned so much, and I'm so excited to tell everybody I know about all of the amazing services that Akron Fire provides, including the REACH program, the CO detectors, the smoke detectors, and just you guys are doing a lot of really incredible work. So I hope our listeners also learned a lot from you both too. Thank you so much for listening today. If you really enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave us a rating, tell all your friends about it, and we will see you next time on Akron in Action.
Hey Akron, this is Mayor Shamus Malik. Thanks for tuning in to our Akron in Action podcast. Each month, we're taking you behind the scenes with our city government and hearing from folks who are doing amazing work to move our city forward. So hope you can tune in each month, and thank you so much for following us along this journey.